Going live. Hey, we're live. It's the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show late edition because it was a crazy day again. And now because of a troubleshooting thing and stuff just happening. Anyway, I want to wish veterans a happy Veterans Day and all that serve, their families. I hope they're doing well and know our thoughts and prayers are with them. And I got a little flag. And today I had two things I want to offer. One, every Veterans Day, I offer some free coaching to 5 veterans. If they're interested, they can message me about getting some coaching. And also, I want to talk about today about troubleshooting. Why is late today? Why everything took so long? Another story from the house fire, remnants of the fire in the house and things not working, and doing a terrible job of troubleshooting and violating all my own rules on how to troubleshoot. So I'm going to share that today too. So 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. It is the late edition. I wanted to get a show out today. Bubbles wants to be on there every day. Got the 2 dogs in here. Bubbles, you want to say hi? Come here, Bubs. Here's Bubs, the token cat. Edwin's on just on time. There we go. Edwin out there in New Zealand. Hope everything's going well there. So what do we talk about on the show? We talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way so you can get your work done without working crazy hours and get value to the customer and have some fun. So we're going to have a little fun today. And maybe it's 5 a.m. Maybe it's 5 a.m. Is it 5 a.m. in New Zealand, Edwin? Maybe he can tell me. He's watching. He's one of the people who help coach. So let's just get rolling here because I keep it short. I'm going to put this out, the full video on LinkedIn too, so that more people can see it. Because if you do links to like YouTube and LinkedIn, they don't like it. So no, it's 12 noon. 12 noon? Yeah, okay. It's middle of the day out there in New Zealand now. It's about 6:15 here in the East Coast. Anyway, so here's the offer. Kind of do this a few times. It is for 5 veterans. The offer's not going to end today, but within the next week, anytime actually. When I get 5 people that are veterans, they get free. Okay, I'll keep adding them to get there. But it's 6 months. It's about a half hour, once a week, and it's flexible. I'll send you information if you're interested. You can message me on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you like to do. Edwin took advantage of it before. He wasn't a veteran, but he did take advantage of it. I think he liked it. Maybe great offer. I really recommend it. Thanks for the recommendation, Edwin. So that's for veterans. It's one of my things. Everyone says, thank you for all your service. My thing is, how about I give you some free coaching? And if you're transitioning from whatever you're doing, you want to get into IT management, Scrum, Agile, whatever, you want to learn more about, beef up your skills, get ready to take a test or something like that, it's a perfect opportunity. So again, just because it's like 5 people, make sure to give them enough attention to what they need. So again, five veterans, 6 months of coaching once a week, about a half hour a week, flexible in the times and when it needs to be based on what's available. And Bubbles, this is not your time. You're not a veteran. But I have 2 dogs. But you're not a veteran. Okay, Bubbles. I know. You want attention. She's like, you're here and you need to give me attention. All right. So now the Agile topic of the day. I might use my little whiteboard and talk about it a little bit. We'll see how that goes. So we had the fire. Oh, I got a red one. So I can draw the house. So I'm going to draw a little house. We had our little fire back in July. Ooh, little windows. And there's me running around. Oh, no. And there's a door. And we got flames coming out of the house on the 3rd floor. Fire. Okay, there's fire in the house. So it's getting cold here on the East Coast. So last week or a week before, I started turning on the heat. Heard the pilot like clicking. Click, 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 click. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, I'm not messing with this. Called in the HVAC person to try to troubleshoot it. And we were looking at it today. And I'm like, yeah, well, we had the fire. So I don't know if things didn't work or something got shut down or what. This is what we did. So we had the little boiler with the heater unit. Okay. And we tried lighting it. Of course, the, what do you call it? The little fire spark unit, the igniter was igniting. So that was going good. However, there's a little box, like a little trigger, and it didn't seem like it was working. So maybe it was a bad valve. Okay. So we said, okay, the valve's not working maybe. Then he did some more troubleshooting, and then there was a thermistor, like a sensor to make sure that it's actually on fire. And when it's actually on fire and hot, it stops lighting the pilot light. So there's the pilot light. Pilot light was okay. So the pilot light was working okay. Check. Then we had this thing for temperature, because when it gets hot and you get the flame, it shuts it down. Well, that didn't seem like it was working all too well. So that was kind of suspect. Okay. And then before we made this, so this was going to be like $300. This thing, if this was bad, it's like $600. Okay, to replace it, right? So we're like, oh God, I'm not like thinking I'm going to spend $1,000 here. The gentleman called one of his buddies who had a little tester, had a tube that would test for gas flow. Okay. And it wasn't, it looks like a terrible thing. So let's just do this. And there's a little meter that would tell us whether or not there was gas flow. Okay. So a little meter, gas flow meter. Well, there was no gas flow. And I had said that we had a fire and everything may have got turned off or whatever, or something just not been worked because I haven't turned it on since July. What we didn't do, just because I said, hey, we had hot water. So the hot water heater, and the stove. So we had the stove, right? Little stove. Okay. When we first got back, they were working. You know why? Because there was gas in the line. So in my mind, the hot water heater was going. So I had gas. And I was paying bills to PGW every month. And it was like $15. Right? So I'm thinking I'm paying the gas company $15 every month. I'm assuming the gas is working. Well, guess what? No, it wasn't working. When we did this last bit of troubleshooting, we realized that the gas got shut off by the fire department and no one ever turned it back on. So once it got ahead today, had to get PGW, who's our gas company here in Philadelphia, to turn on the meter. Got two things working. The boiler kicked on for the water. So that was good. It tested the stove, so now it's worked. Now I think they got to come back tomorrow to check the boiler because it wasn't really working the way it should be. The flame was kind of iffy. So I'd rather have the HVAC person come in here and check it and make sure it's all working appropriately because I don't want to die. So hire an expert. So here's an example where we thought it was this. First, we thought it was the bad valve because no signal, signal was coming through, gas should be coming through, but there was no lighting of the ignition. So we thought it was a bad valve. And then we checked out the temperature sensor that shuts it off, and it wasn't working the way it should have been because they had another one that did show it, but maybe it's different, blah, blah, blah. Then we finally tested this thing, and we realized there's no freaking gas going to the boiler. So if we would have troubleshoot from the beginning and do what I always say for all my Scrum, it's like, yes, I said it, that it should be working. However, verify. I'm going to say, big thing, verify. And I was paying my bill. So I'm assuming I'm getting gas. Apparently I was getting no service, though there's an automatic 1 month bill that comes out every month. So in my mind, I figured I had gas. No, I didn't. So the big story on this is I'll put verify. I'm going to write it in big letters. Verify. Physically see what you're doing. As I always tell everybody, I'm like from Missouri. And if you know the motto of Missouri is a show me state. You have to show me that you know what you're doing. I didn't show it. We didn't go and actually physical verify that it had gas flowing. Could have checked all the other appliances, because then we started going, hey, there's no pilot in here. Hey, there's no gas in the stove. We don't have any gas. We would have checked those other things and done a real root cause. So this is a classic example. First thing, oh, bad valve. Let's replace that. No, expose that. No, that doesn't fix it either. We put a new one, didn't work. Oh, what's that? There's no gas, right? So you got to look at the whole system, because I said I was paying the money. So you can go through all this trouble. You got to look at the whole system when you troubleshoot. You can't just say, oh, let's fix this top cover, because maybe it's really not. That's the problem. And you went through the whole cycle, the sprint, and making the code changes. But what you fixed really wasn't the bug in the first place. So this is just a great example, me being an idiot and not going back to the bare roots of it and saying, do we have gas? Communication. Thanks, fire department. Yeah, well, the house didn't blow up, so I can't really blame the fire department. And I don't even know if they would actually want to turn it back on until it got cleared out and everything, and because there's a fire marshal has to come in. So yeah, I agree with you though. But the fire department should have told me they turned off the gas, and I didn't see the valve. I didn't know where it was, and then I realized when I was looking at it, yeah, there's a little valve, but it's not obvious. It's not like a switch or something. It's a hard valve you need a wrench for. Anyway, so that's my story of dumbness on my part, where I made mistakes, and why this whole adventure of getting the heat turned back on in the house has taken like a week. Miscommunications, like you said, Edwin. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because you can laugh at me, because it's fun to laugh at. Everybody else does anyhow. So, but that's a good example of trying to fix little things along the way. And none of those things you just fixed are really the true root cause. The root cause in this case was there was no gas coming in the house whatsoever. Because I'm like, I look outside, there's no valve for them to turn it off outside. I'm like, where they got to drill a hole. So no, but it was a little valve that looks just like the pipe, and you can't tell unless you really know what you're looking for. So with that story, just remember, don't think the very first thing when you're fixing bugs, the obvious thing is the problem. You should look at all the things that potentially be, and take a look at all those things before you start fixing things, right? What are all the things? Verify. And the root cause in this case was no gas coming to the house. It's a story. All right, so that's what I got today. And again, I'm offering to veterans on this Veterans Day, for U.S. veterans, for 5 veterans, a free 6 months of coaching, half hour a week for 6 months. And we can schedule it based on your time. Just communicate with me in any one of the social medias, and we'll set that up. We'll engage. We'll see what you're interested in and what you'd like to do. With that, I say thank you very much for your service. Take care. Thank your families for supporting the veterans while they are in service, and supporting them when they come home. And have a great day. Happy Scrumming. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Fortune Cookie Friday. Right, Edwin? And you got to connect with me, Edwin, see how things are going out there in New Zealand. Hope everything's well. All right. Take care, everyone, and have a great day. Bye.